Looks like somebody needs to do some tuning. Hey everybody, welcome back. As you know, I have this Monolini that I like to include in my music making and some of my live streams. The issue I have with this is that this is really designed to sit, as you can see, on a table or on the floor. And in my studio, I just don't have this kind of flat surface. So I want to make a stand for this. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. Let me show you what I got going. All right, here we are in the side yard. Let me show you what I'm working with. So I want to have a stand, so I'm going to use this base. I think this is from either a cymbal stand or an old timbali stand or something. And it's been a little neglected. It needs some love, but that'll work great for the base. And then I found this piece, which is from a bongo stand that I do not use, and I will not use. And conveniently, the end is bare metal, which I'll explain in a second. But this fits right in there. And that'll work for the attachment. And so what I'm going to do, oh, and then I also have this piece of metal, which is a 1-inch, I believe it's a 1-inch square. It's pretty thick, pretty beefy. This is left over from another project. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, or I'll detach it. I think there's a pin. Yeah, there's a little pin there. I might be able to just pop this off the end. So if I can do that, I'll do that. If I have to, I can cut it. And then I'm going to take this bare metal side and I'm going to weld it right to this. It fits perfectly like that. And then I will weld that on, hopefully, and just create this kind of shape, a little rectangle, sort of, you know, horizontal, and two sides coming up. Now, the only critical thing is that the inner distance, you know, needs to be 27.5 inches. And then the risers, let's call them, that could be 4 or 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is take this piece of metal. I'm going to cut my total length first. Then I'm going to get the dead center. And then I'm going to take about 5 inches on each end. And I'm going to cut a V. I'll show you guys in a minute. I'm going to cut a V, 90-degree angle V, 45, 45. And then I'm going to fold it up and tack weld it. And those will be my supports. So let's move on. I'm going to get these prepared and I'll show you guys the next step. Alrighty, here's where we are now. I got the correct length cut and I marked 6 inches from each end because I realized when I cut this out and then fold it up, I'm going to lose an inch this way. So my end piece going up here should be about 5 inches. Mark the center. And I marked everything I want to cut out, and then I'm going to use this and then sanding disc and try to get this pretty clean. I know it's not going to be perfect because I'm just using hand tools, but the goal is just to cut this area out, and then we'll fold this up, you know, like that. So wish me luck. Well, I cut my notches. And I was feeling pretty good until I put a tape measure on this. Somehow, this is why the saying measure twice, cut once is should be in full effect at all times. But anyway, it's supposed to be 27, this middle part here, from there to there, it's supposed to be 27.5. And it looks like I miscalculated. I must have gone off the wrong lines because now it's 26 and it's 27.5 to the outside, which means I'm 1.5 inches short on the centerpiece now. I thought I was doing it right, but apparently not. So I'm gonna try to come up with a save. I don't want to trash this, but should have just left this piece on. This is the piece I cut off the end. I might have to stick it back in there in the middle. I don't know. let's see, because the ends are still 6 inches. That's still 6. What did I cut off of this thing? 2, okay, 4, almost 4 inches. So, I mean, I could weld a piece in the middle, but that's kind of lame. I might have to, though. I might have to cut this in the middle and then get the distance I need, and then maybe I'll weld this onto the plate and then weld these onto that. I don't know. I'm a little discouraged at the moment. I hate making these kind of bonehead mistakes, but it happens, you guys. So I'm gonna try to come up with a creative fix. Maybe I can make lemonade out of lemons. Let's see. All right, let's see what we got. I'm not expecting this to be perfect because I'm just using hand tools, but not bad. It's not a right angle exactly. Yeah, gotta take a little more out of there. Hopefully I can get a right angle. I should have taken more material out probably, but we'll see. I might have to just cut this off. I was trying to keep this hole here so I could just bend it over, but it doesn't give me a lot of flexibility. If I keep bending it back and forth, it's just going to break anyway. So anyway, I think I came up with a fix, which is, I think what I'm going to do, and this will actually be better, but I have to get more material. I'm going to cut it in the middle, so I'll have 2 sides. And then if I can find a piece of metal like this, but bigger, that these will slide into, I can create the centerpiece, and then these, the ends, the middle part, will slide into it like it'll be like that. Like it'll slide in like that, and then I can adjust it, right? Like that. So that'll be my center, something like this. And then I can actually collapse it down and pack it up easy. But in order to do that, I've got to do more work. I got to find a piece of metal with an inside diameter or inside measurement of 1 inch, which I don't have right now. I only have this, which is an outside not diameter, but outside measurement of 1 inch. So probably it's going to take me more days to do this. I'll let you know. You'll see the next installment at a later date. All right, bye for now. Are you guys ready? Let me give you a better look. There it is. And I'll tell you guys something. The only way I get anything done is just through sheer grit and determination and not giving up. And a lot of mistakes and back and forth. But eventually, I got it done. So I made a huge mess out here. I got my welder out. I got the tools, power tools, drill presses, grinders, cut-off wheels, paper towels. I started a fire over here with the welder on a paper towel. Don't do that, by the way. So here's what it is. All joking aside, let me show you what I made. So the bottom is a cymbal stand. So this is what I put together. So I had to cut I was going to do this whole thing, right, as one long piece, but this is better because it's adjustable, and I was able to reclaim, where is it? I was able to reclaim this much of this 1x1 square tube, which is awesome because I can use that probably. So what I did is I just created these 2 6x6 L pieces, and they're just attached with a carriage bolt and a wing nut. And if I need to, I don't think I will, but if I need to, I can make this opening down here so this can slide a little, so this whole thing is adjustable. And same thing on the other side, although I really only need to make one side adjustable. And then I took the bottom of that bongo stand and I just welded it onto this piece of L-shaped, piece of metal. And so that's it. So I think that'll work great. I'm gonna paint it so it's not rusting, because it will rust And then I can put the Monolini in a stand. And for that convenience, I just used up about 6 hours of my life. But I had a good time. It was a little frustrating here and there, but I made it. And I also learned that I'm a terrible welder, but that's okay because eventually I got the job done. All right, I'll show you guys the finished product next. There it is, guys. It's not done, but it's complete. And I'm pretty happy with it. Is it perfect? No, it's not. But it does the job. It does what I wanted it to do. I use the screws that it came with it originally, because the legs happen to also be 1 inch roughly. So that's good. And I put in a rubber washer over here, which I want to put a washer on the other side. So I might just make one last change, which is make this hole down here a little bigger so I can move this piece kind of around a little bit. And this thing is so light, I realize this is overkill, you guys. I probably could have just gone to the hardware store and bought a shelf bracket, which was already made, already at a right angle, not slightly off like these things I made. But, you know, I like to make stuff, so I had fun. And I'm pretty proud of this one. It's not, you know, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. But I could have, you know, just bought this piece of metal, this L angle, and then probably bought 2 little L brackets, you know, that would have been plenty strong, because this thing weighs like, what, 3 pounds, maybe 5, I don't know. It's pretty light. But the point is, I was going to tell you before I got distracted, is that I can rotate this almost. You know, it does hit eventually. It hits down here just a little. Oh, right on the sides, I guess. Oh, where's it hitting? Oh, here. This edge is. Wow, that's close. Yeah, I might have to look at that. But I wouldn't need it more angled than that, I'm sure. But the point is, I can angle it if I want. And believe it or not, a lot of the sound of this instrument does not come off of the face, it comes off the back. Check it out. I could just hear it get louder. It's much louder from this side. So if I was gonna mic it, I'd probably wanna do 2 mics, one on the bottom, one on the top. Again, I digress. But I'm just letting you guys know of stuff when I think about it. All right, so there's my Monolini stand, and again, it goes in a regular, you know, standard base. I reused all this material, stuff I had that was kind of not being used, and now it is. So you'll see this in future videos. Thanks for watching. Thanks for going on the journey. I'll see you guys on Patreon and on the channel. Bye for now.